In the crowded streets of Dhaka City, where traffic never stopped honking and neon signs lit up the night, lived Rehan Ahmed. He was 27, ambitious and hardworking. Rehan had grown up in a middle-class family, raised by his widowed father who drove a taxi to pay for his education. Rehan's biggest dream was to build a career in business. After finishing university, he got a job at a private investment company. Life wasn't perfect, but it was improving. For the first time, his father no longer had to work double shifts, and Rehan felt proud to support his family. But life gave him something even more precious than success. Aisha Rahman. Aisha worked in the same office, a quiet but smart woman with deep brown eyes and a gentle smile. She came from a wealthy family, but unlike many of her peers, she wasn't arrogant. She noticed Rehan's dedication, his honesty, and his passion for life. Slowly, their friendship blossomed into love. For Rehan, Aisha was a miracle. She made him believe that social class didn't matter, that love was enough. Nights were spent walking by Hottage Hill, holding hands, whispering dreams of the future. "Someday," Rehan said, looking at her, "I'll give you everything you deserve." Aisha smiled softly. "All I need is you." But promises are fragile when greed and betrayal enter the story. The other man. At their office, the owner's son, Kamal Chowdhury, often noticed Aisha. Kamal was arrogant, spoiled, and used to getting what he wanted. His father's wealth gave him power, and he believed every woman could be bought with money or influence. When Kamal discovered Aisha was in love with Rehan, a burning jealousy grew inside him. How could a simple middle-class boy steal the heart of someone like Aisha? Kamal began to interfere. He invited Aisha to parties, sent her expensive gifts, and whispered poison into her ears. "Rehan will never give you the life you deserve. He's just a dreamer. With me, you can have the world." At first, Aisha resisted. She defended Rehan, believing love was stronger than wealth. But slowly, the cracks began to form. Kamal's money, his influence, the way society respected him, it all started to weigh on her heart. The breaking point. One evening, Rehan walked into the office cafeteria and froze. He saw Aisha laughing at something Kamal whispered, her hand lightly touching his arm. The image burned into his chest like fire. Later that night, Rehan asked her directly, "Aisha, are you hiding something from me?" She looked away. Her silence said more than words. Finally she spoke. "Rehan, I love you, but love doesn't pay bills. Love doesn't give security. Kamal can give me a future you never can. I'm sorry." Those words shattered him. His father noticed his silence, the way his once bright eyes dimmed. But Rehan never spoke about it. He swallowed his pain, but inside something broke. A week later he heard the news. Aisha was engaged to Kamal. The same colleagues who once praised Rehan now pitied him. He became the man who was too small for love, the man who lost to money. Part 2, The Fall and the Fire. The engagement party was the talk of the city's elite. Expensive cars lined the entrance of the five-star hotel, and reporters filled the hall. Inside, Kamal Chowdhury stood with his smug smile, holding Aisha's hand as if she were a trophy he had won. Rehan did not attend. He couldn't. But pictures of the event flooded social media. Every time he opened his phone, he saw her, the woman who once promised him forever, smiling beside another man. His father found him staring at the screen late that night. "Beta, some battles are not meant to be fought," the old man said gently. Rehan's eyes burned with silent rage. "Then I'll choose a battle that is." The descent. The weeks after the engagement were a nightmare. At work, Kamal made his life miserable. Small mistakes were exaggerated, reports were rejected, and eventually Rehan was fired. He left the office carrying a cardboard box of his belongings, while Aisha stood at the reception, looking at him without a word. Losing his job meant bills piled up. His father fell ill again, but Rehan couldn't afford the treatments. Their small rented apartment became darker every day. Hunger was a frequent visitor. One night, after returning from the hospital, Rehan broke down. He sat on the floor, clutching his father's old taxi keys, and cried for hours. He cried for his lost love, his broken pride, and the cruel injustice of life. But grief slowly turned into something else. Fire. He promised himself, if the world only respects money and power, then I will take both, not to live but to destroy those who ruined me. The rebirth. Rehan disappeared from his old circles. No friends, no phone calls, no trace. While the city moved on, he started rebuilding himself. He took small jobs in underground businesses, learning how money flowed in the shadows. He studied finance and law at night, spending hours in libraries and internet cafes. He trained his body at a local gym, pushing himself until he was unrecognizable. Years passed. The once broken young man was gone. In his place stood someone sharper, stronger, and colder. Rehan wasn't chasing dreams anymore. He was building weapons, not of steel but of knowledge and strategy. The first strike. By the time Kamal and Aisha married, Rehan had already started moving his pawns. He set up a small consultancy under a false name, offering discreet financial services to wealthy businessmen. His intelligence, combined with his relentless drive, quickly attracted clients. Within a year, his hidden company grew powerful, quietly stealing influence from under Kamal's nose. But Rehan didn't stop at money. He wanted to break them from the inside. He hacked into company accounts, slowly leaking documents to investigative journalists. Stories about Kamal's shady deals began appearing in newspapers. Investors grew nervous. The Chowdhury empire shook, though no one knew who was pulling the strings. Meanwhile, Aisha started receiving strange packages, old photographs of her and Rehan, love letters she thought she had thrown away. Each arrived with no sender, but a simple note. Did you choose wisely? Her nights grew restless. Kamal noticed her anxiety and accused her of weakness, sparking arguments that turned their perfect marriage into a battlefield. A glimpse of revenge. One rainy evening, Rehan stood across the street from the mansion where Aisha and Kamal lived. The house glowed with luxury, chandeliers shining through the windows. But through the glass he saw them arguing, Aisha's face wet with tears, Kamal's voice raised in anger. For the first time in years, Rehan smiled. They were suffering, not yet destroyed but cracking. And he was just getting started. Next in part 3, I'll bring the climax. Rehan's master plan, Kamal's downfall, and Aisha's bitter realization.